Alrighty, let's get into it. Howdy, peeps. Happy Thursday, whatever day of the week it is. Time is fake. When we get 3 Marble League events a week, it makes it very tough to remember which day it is. All I categorize days now is a day with marbles and a day without marbles. I love that we're getting so much marbles, but at the same time, it is very bittersweet that at the rate this is going, we'll be over in 3 weeks. We have officially hit the halfway mark for the Marble League 2023 season. Looked in my viewfinder, remembered that I shaved, forgot that I had a face. When you have a beard for as long as I keep my beard, whenever the beard is gone, I forget that I have a chin. So I see myself in my viewfinder. I'm like, what is happening? My baby face is what happens. I de-age, unage like 5 years, 7 years every time I shave. So that is just what I'm having to get used to. So, welcome everyone. I see people filing in now. Whole lot to talk about. 8 events down, 8 to go, and it's a classic. We have balancing. Last event, we had funnels, classic. And now we have balancing, classic. Has this been in every single Marble League? Because I really want to say it has. I know funnels was not in 2016, but I am fairly confident that balancing has been in every single one. So, yeah, we got some bangers out, right? Just classic to classic halfway mark, and we're already seeing how the rest of the season is shaping up to be. There are some teams that started off hot, getting really hot. Some teams started off not, getting really hot. Some teams that started off hot, and they're slipping. They are slipping. Might be a fluke. Might be some bad luck. Might be a bit of both. And then we have some teams that started off dead and are continuing to be dead. So we got that and then some. Speaking of things that are dead, my bingo, because it had a square dependent on this event in particular. This event in particular, I needed a thing to happen, and it did not happen. And it was very rough. No balancing in 2018. That checks out because that was an ice-based thing, a snow-based thing. So we go in to this with 4 teams needing to get on that podium who have not gone on that podium. And just getting that much closer. So a lot of things are dependent on the numbers based on final standings because numbers do go burr. Although there is a lot to talk about in this. First of all, one of them being they're going by alphabetical order again, which I'm all right with. I am okay with this event going in alphabetical order. Because why not? Why not? I think JMR is just staying away from any reverse order anything. But I found this was all right because you do get the hosts first when it's alphabetical order, and they do what somehow everyone kind of knew that the Bumblebees were gonna do an absolutely flop, flounder, fail at balancing. Very first, at least, and I mean, we're gonna see some teams that definitely beat this, but this was bad right off the bat, literally out the gate. First run of the day, host team trying to combat that host curse, needing them to get one more medal to hit my over. And they do one of the worst balancing attempts that I've seen. Still not the worst on the day. Needed the cat's eyes to do well. And if you don't have a finisher, you're done. You're done. If you need someone, you need at least one finisher to get into that 130 bin. Otherwise, it ain't happening. And yes, the grounds crew is there putting in work. Put them in the thumbnail for a reason. Thank you, grounds crew. They got sand to fall into. Grounds crew, I'm going to make this the best sand ever. Best sand ever. I don't know why the cat's eyes didn't get this sand. For whatever reason. Like the cat's eyes when they hosted didn't get that sand. Might I add, this is the best camera angle ever. Okay? We have had so many great camera angles and so many very bad camera angles over the years, right? It's hard to pick out like a good camera angle because all a good camera angle is an angle that shows you what is going on. It is very easy to pick out bad camera angles because you look back to M1, you look back to some of the previous Marble League seasons, they have some very questionable camera choices. You have angles that just aren't showing anything. If you recall back to the previous M1 season, they had some shots that lingered too long that was showing really nothing of importance. You had some of the previous funnels where they have a camera under the funnel that doesn't show anything. This is the best ever, right? You get a lot of top downs, you get a lot of head-ons, but we've never had this out of balancing to have a ground camera roll the length of the track to go beat for beat with them. You think like NFL, again, because I'm a filthy American like that, but whenever you have someone running on the sideline, or even the Olympics, you have a camera guy running with Olympic sprinters with the camera to get that shot. That's what this reminds me of. This is the best camera angle ever. Oh yeah, and Raldo's there. Yeah, because he was where Cats stands at per. Saw them way easier just at the start. And by saw, I mean my roommate pointed it out again because I found Raldo and I was like, oh yeah, because the clue did say per. But see the replay angle. Replay angle lets you say, it lets you see Raldo way better. Lets you see Raldo way better from that angle. Also lets you see what is happening way better, right? At least as it pertains to the straightaway, because in balancing, you either go to the left or to the right. So that doesn't show any left-right deviation. The head-on shot definitely does, but we get plenty of the head-on shots here. Uh, yeah, real time, love it. Absolutely beautiful. Uh, Glaciers do get a finisher. Might I add, your boy got the uncanny ability to completely unjinx teams and jinx other teams. The teams that I said would do well in this event did the worst. The teams that I said would do the worst did pretty mid, but got way more points than the teams I said would actually win that didn't actually win. There's a top-down angle. Top-down angle. Banger. I think this event has the best camera angles. Uh that is a back view. That's a pretty solid one. Uh wow, really to M already. There no that's what happens. No G's, no L's, no K's in the league. Cobalts, Lime, no H's, right? You just go right to M. We're in the M's already, going in alphabetical order. Run 5. And what do you know? Wisps didn't do too bad. At least one of them didn't do bad. 35 is pretty poor. And we get this lovely camera angle. Lovely camera angle. So it's only a shame that we didn't get to see the Midnight Wisps for too long at this camera angle. And then the O Rangers knew it was going to be bad. I just felt it. I don't know. It's not our day, I guess. I don't know. I ain't got. If you don't have a finisher, you're not winning. If you don't have a finisher that cracks 100, you can't even crack 100. Come on, O Rangers, what is happening? Thought this was a Fruit Circuit year, huh? Thought this was an O Rangers year. Still did better as the worse, but still did worse than the better, right? You had the first finisher be better than the worst first finisher, but had the last finisher be worse than the worst other. You can't even crack 100. What is this? Oh my god, what is that? Imagine me get demonetized for 1 second of a Marvel thing that I didn't even want to watch because YouTube do be that. YouTube is like, hey, can you get rid of ad block so we can get more money to not pay our creators, and then proceed to show the absolute cringiest ads. I have gotten some absolutely cringe ads. But you know what isn't cringe? The Grounds crew. Thank you, Grounds crew. Mellow Yellow in the Midnight Wisps. Day for the M's. I suppose. Pinkies thought I thought they were gonna do better because remember last year, smoking them. And I think this is worse. This is somehow not the worst, but this was way worse. What is the worst balancing? That it was a hard number to try to find. But I don't think it happened. Here we go with the Razzies. Yeah, I can see what people were saying. I saw this in Marble Base before I went live about how this track was bumpy. I thought it was just, cope, right? We be coping. It is the day, the time, the season for coping. Rangers won the World Series last night. Different sport. Rangers won the World Series. Okay? But keep in mind that the Mariners lost 4 of the last 7 against the Rangers to let the Rangers go into the playoffs and not the Mariners. So technically it's our ring too. It's our World Series too. I'm okay. But yeah, I saw people pointing out that it was a bumpy track, and yeah, this was bumpy. You could see it there. They were balancing, almost got 2 finishers. One of the best of the day. Man, 359 would have been a lot better. What are the wisp? What did Mellow Yellow have? All these numbers go. 385. Oh, good luck trying to beat that, right? Yeah, good luck with that. But the Razzies still put together a phenomenal run. But it is bumpy, and I think it's despite the bumpiness. Did the grounds crew miss Santa track? Grounds crew don't miss anything. Also, there's no sand on the track. And that just might be some wear and tear. I believe it's the same track used in push of war, tug of war. So it might just be some wear and tear on that. And this is still not as bad as 2021 with some of the runs we saw then. Because was it 2020? Yeah, no, it was 2021. Because the Stars were there. The Stars were there. Stars ain't really in the main league. 2021 was the worst balancing. And some of these runs were just pretty bad. But you can't really blame the track leaning one way or the other just because you have some really strong showings from some of these teams. It's just a skill issue. It is just a skill issue. Tug of War's huge honkin' chonkin' block ripped up the balance track. That is possible. Yes, they're Indigo Stars, winner of the last event, are not going to win this event. Yep, that was that one. That was that one. And then here we go. Rojo Rollers. Yeah, Roller's Life. Beautiful. Didn't seem to do a whole lot of bumps on that one. $154 is the anti-record from the jumpers. Of course, it's the jumpers. And then 438, that's the hazers. Yeah, so did not hit. Some of them tried. Speeders still get a finisher over 100. But 2 finishers before 40. And yeah, I see what you mean now. It does kick up some sand. So maybe they did miss some sand because some of them aren't bumping. And the track is looking a bit cleaner. So here we go with the Shining Swarm. Needed them to finish 16th. So close. I was getting the celebrations ready. I was getting the Marson for my bingo ready. Because watch this. You get one off at like 25 and then 40 and then 45. And I was like, yes, just fall off now. And no, they had to finish. The Shining Swarm had to I bet you that's Sterling. I bet you that's Sterling. Being like, let's actually do not horrible after a gold medal, after my gold medal. Let's not do horrible. Even though they could have been horrible for the sake of my bingo, and really the sake of my bingo only. But we need to watch this, and you know one thing? We gotta watch this slow motion. We breaking out some Grog Woods. That is quality. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, quick on the draw. Sneezing. All right, here we go. Shining Swarm.
Bottom of the order in 8 of 10 so far. Shining Swarm, gold medalists.
Gold medalists.
Event ago. They need this bottle to make it, and it does. But those early losses will hurt.
Those early losses will hurt. Yeah, that is me in the booth. I am 2000 Joe Buck commentating. They need this war to finish, and they do. But those early losses. Yeah. Schwarm could have done it. Oh, what's quick math? 23 and 47 is 70. So, 109. Yeah. I think at the point where they had one marble past 50 did it in. So they would have needed more to fall off earlier. That's a shame. So close to getting a new worse, because some of these runs were very bad. That last one, I want to say that is sterling. That was a very phenomenal run. Just hope the rest of the team could have followed suit. Yeah, so there it is. Top of the order. Rollers, racers, cats. Second, third, and fifth after 11 racers, which is a very strange time to put a break. The fact that it's not on a multiple of 4. Snowballs, Team Galactic, Team Momo, Team Plasma, and the Thunderbolts. The important takeaway after 11 runners is that the O-Rangers did better than the Savage Speeders. We gotta take our wins, however they may come at this point through 8 events, because the O-Rangers just love being absolutely mid. They are staying incredibly mid. They have 1 medal. 1. Got 1 of them. And the rest of their showings has been mid. They're either the worst of the best or the best of the worst. And that is still better than a handful of teams, but not better than all of the teams, which is where you want to be in a sport. So here we go with the snowballs. Momokai was worried that they'd show the final standings too early again. You might be alone in that. That incident completely slipped my mind just because it's water under the bridge at this point. And there go the Snowballs with an absolutely snowball performance. The dude got two medals, 2 golds. So still not bad. And then Team Galactic, since I am an unfunny man, hoped for a 5th place. Really wanted the 5th place. 18. Hold up. 18. That is disgusting. That is awful. Team Galactic, we need Grog again. I need Grog to tell me how bad that is.
By side, not ideal.
Not
Team
ideal.
Galactic are up now with just a few events to go. We start locking in medalists pretty soon.
He said events. He meant runs. A handful of runs left, and then we start locking in medalists.
One marble made it down to 114, but an 18 rolls everything back and puts them in 10th.
That's too much fun. But 18 rolls everything back. And then Team Momo. There's Team Momo. Just not for long. Although pretty solid-ish. No finisher. Good for not 14th. That is what you needed to have happen if you're Team Momo. You just needed to not be 14th for the 3rd time this season. And then Team Plasma, who I said was going to take a medal in this event. Take a lead cube in this event. Which I should have guessed. I should have guessed that they'd have everyone fall off before 80. I should have guessed that the hype dies down. The honeymoon phase is over. They needed to show up and show out. And through 3 events, that seemed like it was happening. But through 8 events, that has not been the track record. Team Plasma is still new to this. They are still a fresh batch. They are still an unproven team. And it shows. With a performance like this, they have not needed to face bouncing, I believe. So they step up with so much hype. And they do that. Still not an 18. But I mean, come on. 21-40, 41-67. 15th place out of 15 teams that ran. That is essentially locked into dead last, assuming that the Thunderbolts can find a way to do even worse. But the Thunderbolts said nay, although I could have imagined the Thunderbolts doing worse than this somehow. Needed that anti-record. 14 points off? 13 points? 15? Whatever, 153? And that was a 169, so 16 to tie 17. Let's see. That's subtitles. Let's see what Grog Woods has to say about this. Look at it. Last week, no Grog. Today, not last week. Last event. Last stream. No Grog. Today, 3 Grogs. 3 Grogs. And some more Team Momo on screen.
But too much of the elbows out.
Too much of the elbow. What elbows, Greg? Too much of the elbows? What elbows, Greg?
And now, our P1 runner guaranteed a medal. What can Team Plasma do? Oh, no. Oh, that's paltry.
Paltry. Man having me break out the dictionary for that. You know, for someone who has the name Thesaurus, I definitely do not read one as much. My grammar doesn't. But just, what can they do? Oh, no. That was Team Plasma fans' reaction. That was the whole stadium's reaction. For a team that was a hopeful. The hype was real. With the win in Steeplechase, it seemed like that hype was warranted. And we got the Thunderbolts, another one of these medal-less teams, almost getting on the podium. They got fourth. Thunderbolts almost getting on the podium, right? True 2021 fashion, getting fourth without getting third. So close to the podium, yet so far, because what was the difference between third and fourth? We'll see it in a bit. There's another great shot of the grass. Thank you, grounds crew. Magnificent work getting put in. Yeah, so 13 points behind the Raspberry Racer, so needed a bit more saving. Yeah, maybe just that bottom leg there. That first finisher could have stood to finish in the 70s. That would have gotten them on the podium. Bump the Razzies down. Worth noting that 7 teams had a finisher. The top 5 all had a finisher. Who knew that doing well means you do well? The floor here is indeed made of floor. And the Shining Swarm finished in 13th, despite having a finisher. Team Plasma, absolutely bad. The only team this event to have a score end in a 1, or start with a 1, rather. Their score starts with a 1. They were, how does math? Is that a 40-something? 43? Clear behind the Bumblebees? That's bad. That is very poor from Team Plasma, who was one of the hopefuls, one of the teams to look out for. Absolutely waffle stomping everyone in last year's showdown. Qualify, get a gold medal. Top of the standing, seems like it's a gold team year. Seems like they could do it, and they are sliding. We got to get through. Oh, yeah, there's a Grog. No, not Grog, just Greg. Got some bees on his desk. Rollers get on the podium again. Mellow Yellow finally getting on to the podium. And the Razzies also getting there. Quietly snagging their second medal. They jump up from 4th. They're in the 2 spot now. Bumblebees with that 15th starting to slide. Crazy Cat's Eyes on the way back up. Rollers second. Silver, they're on the way back up. Mellow Yellow, 1 goal jumps them up 6 spots. So it does seem that the team that jumps the most, or maybe won the event, gets a different shade of green. And then the Pinkies drop down to 5th. Rollers up. Wisps down to 7th. O-Rangers down to 9th. Swarm dropping. Glaciers dropping. Galactic dropping. Galactic, Team Momo, and the Thunderbolts. Only teams without medals. Through 8 events. The Thunderbolts are 61 points behind the Savage Speeders. Savage Speeders were 1 point away from getting a C note in the first half. They have 99 points in 8 events. It would take the Balls of Chaos 10 years to get 100 points. It would take them forever to get 100 points. Savage Speeders have it in 8 events. Yeah, so 64 points. Oh, Rangers can't do any worse. Swarm down can still have a chance. Bolts are on pace for 56 points. Bolts are on pace to be absolute garbage. And yes, Team Momo might mount the comeback. They took a finish that is not 14th. They got points that is better than 2. Still in 15th. But Team Plasma, steeplechase gold medalist, all eyes on them. It seemed like everything anyone was saying about them was true. That the hype was warranted. That they will put their money where their mouth is, show up and show out. It seemed to be the case this time last week, because this Marble League is absolutely flying by. It seemed like this was the year for red teams, and now Speeders still 5 points clear for first place above the Raspberry Racers, who are another red team. Crazy Cat's Eyes. Captain is Red Eye. That's at least a 5th of a red team. They're on their way back up. Rojo Rollers got red in the name. They're moving back up. Team Plasma was up in the mix with them. 5 red teams were the top 5 this time last week. Team Plasma has been slipping ever since. They are 2 points ahead of 15th. And if we remember anything about the showdown last year, Team Momo was in danger of being relegated. The point total didn't account for the consolation point from Water Race. So Team Momo was never in danger of getting relegated. But they were right there. They were 1 point. They were 1 point on the inside, looking down into relegation, run the table, 3 medals, get into 3rd place, and then qualify. So who is to say that Team Momo might just have another run like that? 8 events, not a whole lot of time, but still anything could happen halfway through this season. And yes, it is worth noting that Team Plasma, being 2 points above 15, are 10 points above 16th. They are 10 points ahead of dead last. And 3 teams still need medals. Is this the most medalists through 8 events? You have 13 of 16 teams with some hardware halfway through the season. That's pretty quick. Like, as far as that bingo is concerned, we are rolling. But the same cannot be said for Team Plasma, who is not rolling, dead last, goose egg hurts. Cat's Eyes have 2 goose eggs, and they're in 4th. So maybe, I don't know, 3 medals the other times you're not taking dead last. Those will help. But Team Plasma, and again, I learned my mistake last year. Raspberry Racers were in 12th. This time last week, they were in 12th, and I said, hey, can't call anyone dead because they did it last year. Raspberry Racers are in the 2 spot, 2 points ahead of the hosts, who are slipping because of their 15th place finish. Raspberry Racers 5 points behind the Speeders. Speeders and Razzies, that's another one of those rivalries, man. It is just button heads every time, and it's a really solid rivalry because the O-Rangers are dropping. Raspberry Racers were in 12th. I couldn't call them dead because I saw what they did last year. When I called them dead, they ran it back. Team Plasma is dead. Team Plasma, overhyped. They are deflating, entering the halfway mark. And they might not run it back. They might get a bronze in something, right? They might be not too worse for wear. But if the 3 teams that do not have medals get medals in triathlon, which is in 2 days, then Team Plasma is going to be 16th. They will be dead last in a league that they were leading, in a league that seemed to be theirs. They won the showdown in flying colors, won their group in qualifiers with flying colors. Didn't they clinch as well? I know the Bolts clinched, but they were the best. And it seemed like this was how it was going to be for Team Plasma. And at the steeplechase, it seemed like, yo, this team is going to do something phenomenal. And now they are in 14th, about to be 15th, about to be 16th. How the turntables for Team Plasma. So, yeah, here's hoping that if you're rooting for Team Plasma, they run it back. But it might have been some rose-colored glasses that we were all looking through for Team Plasma. Gliding Glaciers, gliding down a bit. So, yeah, Mellow Yellow with the win, getting 68 points. This is Mellow Yellow. They might just take 15th during triathlon and get that 1 extra point. So, was it 44 points? Yeah, Momo can't get it. Next event, Plasma can't get it. That'd be 17 points. Snowballs can't get it. 13 points, Galactic can't get it. 8 points, Glaciers or Swarm. O-Rangers with 3. or Mellow Yellow with 1. So Mellow Yellow, O Rangers, Shining Storm, Gliding Glaciers, only teams that could get 69 points next event. If the O Rangers do that would be the most karmatic thing, I guess, for them, for if the O Rangers already having a bad showing in balancing get an even worse showing in triathlon, but get a bingo spot for me. Pinkies might win again. Yeah, Pinkies are still there. Speeders are still leading with no gold medals. So they have 4 in 8 events. 4 medals in 8 events. So every other event, the speeders get a medal. Still no golds, although it is triathlon. And it will be an indoor triathlon this year, which I'm all right with. Last year, we had an outdoor triathlon. This year, 2021, we got the indoor. And this year, we're getting another indoor. I'm all right with it. I'm looking back at who did well at the indoor triathlon, because that was the unsportsmanlike conduct event. And we got Rohodos in the cat's eye. We got the Roho rollers in the cat's eyes. So maybe we could have deja vu all over again. Oh, where is this wiki? Gotta go there. Triathlon. Triathlon was also event 9 of 2021. That was the Speeders, Ducks, and Hazers. Well, we can't have that podium now, can we? Just a wee bit. Yeah, we also have a relay. I finally posted up my calendar so I can look up and see that. Triathlon and then relay on Tuesday. And then the Hoblino Maze on Thursday. Man, we are flying by. 3 weeks, 8 events. Unbelievable stuff. In 19 days, we will have a Marble League champion. So, balancing is done and dusted, out of this world. Triathlon. That was also the one that the Pinkies coach ran, and we all just did not question it. So let me jinx some teams. Triathlon, I'm going to put the speeders in because this is the indoor triathlon. Who took dead last? Plasma took dead last. Let me put Plasma. Maybe this is the one where Plasma runs it back. Maybe this is the one where I finally get a bingo square for that. So let me put Plasma up there. And then justice for the cats. Maybe the cats will take it. Maybe the cats will take it. Then bottom 3, let's do Swarm. Let's do Team Momo. And then let's do Snowballs. Mellow Yellow getting bottom 2 could help either way. Yeah. So, man, 2023 is so strange looking at all of this. Yeah, so maybe redemption for the cats for triathlon. Actually getting to finish instead of getting disqualified for unsportsmanlike conduct. Minutes. Yeah, did not get a new worse. I think my bingo is just as dead as my Team Plasma. Bingo's just as dead as Team Plasma. Checking my minutes, got new worse. New worse didn't happen. Although if balance, it is for any. It is for any. So we're not out yet. If balancing is in the showdown, which here's hoping it is, then we still have a chance. The dream is not dead. The dream is not Team Plasma because Team Plasma is dead. Dream's not dead. Bees are still messing with me. Still messing with me. We could have gotten this by now. Speeders got 4 medals in 8 events. Why couldn't the Bees do that? Bees got 3. Bees got 3. And then 16th and then 15th. Bees are slipping in a Marble League that they almost won. First host to lead the Marble League that they were hosting. Photo finish determines winner. That was close. Green team relegated. Here's hoping. 1st to 16th. We were looking for the Swarm taking dead last. Or who won funnels? I was just looking at the funnels. I cannot commit it to memory. Funnels. Oh, it's not added soon. All right. Well, we can just we'll just go through this then. And probably gonna get an ad. Yeah, getting an ad because I could just turn ad blocker back on. The double ads. Double ads. Wow, double unskippable 30-second ads. Thank you, YouTube. All right. Wow, the cat's eyes, really? So we needed the cat's gold or shining swarm dead last. Neither of those happened. Cat's eyes did actually pretty all right. 6th. Well. Boom. I say that's pretty all right. Have not gotten Team Galact 5th. We got Midnight Wisps getting the 5th. That's the wrong purple space team. And they're still not purple. And they're barely space themed. No Galact 5th. Bees in the Rollers podium. Rollers on the podium. So this is what happened. Right? We've been alternating Bees in the league, Rollers in the showdown, Rollers in the league, Bees in the showdown. And now we're alternating, seems like, Bees on the podium, Rollers on the podium. They're in the same place at the same time finally, but they're still not in the same place at the same time. Bees with 3, Rollers with 5. 5. Whew, could you imagine? Rollers with 2 medals, Bees with 3, not at the same time though, if only. Here's hoping that it'll happen because it seems like anything can happen. Bolt's gold is not going to happen anytime soon. Photo finishes determines a winner. That might happen during triathlon. Especially since it's underwater as the last leg. I think that has a real chance of happening. Greg hasn't mentioned the duck yet. Every team battle's almost happening. Stars outscore Bach. Need to wait for the showdown for that to happen. Need to wait a couple weeks for the 5.5 teams in contention. No marble injury yet. Event delay due to bees hasn't happened. I think so. I mean, this could easily happen. This could happen. Don't know what my pen is. That is size. Yeah, I don't know what my pen's doing. Yeah, it's the opacity layer. That's what it's doing. So we got that. I could see happening easily. Unless the speeders and the Razzies have anything to say. This has been. There's been a. A thing that is talked about that I have not actually addressed, and that is the fact that in terms of teams who have won before, this Marble League is not one of them. That it is one of the weakest fields that we've seen so far. Because if you look at the overall standings, you see that the Savage Speeders have been leading almost this whole time. But what are the other teams that have a history of success? I mean, Pinky's coming off championship, so they're still hot, right? They haven't had the history of success, but they have the recency of success, and they're in 5th right now. So they're getting hot. You get a gold, right? So 64 points. O-Rangers can get that with the gold. Can jump up to 1st. So anyone in the top 9 teams has a chance with the gold medal. Still tight, right? But, I mean, Rojo Rollers, Crazy Casa, Bumblebees. I mean, Bumblebees are getting hot. But in terms of teams you see the Savage Speeders beating, there aren't a whole lot of teams that could beat them. So this is a very good year for the Speeders because there are so many weak teams in the field. Which is why they have almost 100 points in 8 events. So that is worth addressing as I read off the rest of my minutes. So whole point of that to say that this is probably going to happen. The Speeders will still probably end up there. But out of all the teams that are in podium contention, not a lot of them have been there. It's really the Razzies and the Speeders and the Pinkies, I guess. God, if that's your podium, I'd be okay, honestly, with that. I'd lament not getting this. But I see this happening. I mean, we'll have to wait for the showdown for this. This is almost a pipe dream. This has to happen. Please, Greg. Please, Greg. But we still got time. There is still hope for this bingo. All is not lost unless you are Team Plasma, in which case you are losing a whole lot. All right. That has been an hour. That has been my minutes. No bingo yet. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. We got triathlon in 2 days. I will see you all on Monday for that. So, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, a great weekend. As always, Waluigi gonna take us out. Take care. Bye-bye.